Do you have any themes or topics?
I had a theme or a topic about a week ago. Never got to talk about it.
Well, you can talk about anything you want at any time that you want. You know that.
I know.
I never got to talk about it. Is passive use of language that takes no responsibility for the situation.
Well, we were in the flow. We were talking about other things. I mean, it would be stupid to just say, okay, let's stop talking about this because I would like to introduce this topic. I mean, why?
I didn't say be stupid.
Why break
I
up the
just said
flow,
it was
right?
passive. I didn't say be stupid. I just said it was passive.
You're right, it is passive.
Okay.
Yes, I think we should talk about Christmas. From the
Okay.
position of parents. I think we should talk about Christmas, about kids and Christmas, about maybe how parents handle it and stuff. You know?
Okay, let's go.
Christmas is here, Christmas is... Can we start by singing something?
You can.
Merry, 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 merry Christmas. Dum da 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 dum da 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 dum da 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 dum. What was the funny song you were playing the other day? The one that sounded like two people going home from a pub.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
No?
No.
It was the song that somebody was singing, the carol, but they weren't singing the lyrics. They were just la 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 la-ing it, and it sounded like they were going home from a pub. No? Doesn't ring a bell? I have no idea what I'm talking
Might have
about.
been the Bare Naked Ladies because that's the only. What?
Excuse me?
Did I say something funny?
Yes. I don't remember any naked ladies in our living room.
My feet are sticking to the floor.
Well, then freaking wash them.
I did. I did. I went into the bath and I washed my feet after standing in all that stuff that was spilt on the carpet.
Maybe you're just so sweet. That it's oozing from the bottoms of your feet.
It's really uncomfortable, very fucking annoying.
Yes, I can imagine that to be the fact. Yes. Do you mind if I take my trousers off?
Yes.
Why? I'm really hot here, and it's going to be really uncomfortable.
Fuck me! How many layers of clothes are you wearing? What the fuck is?
Outside.
Yeah, you were outside a couple of hours ago.
Yeah, and I didn't
You don't
quite take my clothes off after coming back in. Okay.
You want to do the ironing while you're at it?
Yeah. Actually, that would be quite useful.
Perhaps you could do it live on the internet.
Maybe I could just put the ironing board here and I could do it while talking. It'd probably be quite a fun video.
Why don't you do that on your own website?
I bet you that would be like top views. Whatever.
Iron Yana.
The Iron Lady.
Iron Yana and her kind words of friendly advice to the beautiful mothers out there. How does that sound for a podcast title? Do you like that one?
Yeah, I was thinking like Iron Yana and her soft brain or something like that. But that probably wouldn't.
That would be good for a cooking program, I think.
Yeah, probably. If you're cooking brains and scrambled eggs or something. Yep.
It could just be called Marshmallow for Brains.
Right. I'm really tired.
Why are you tired?
I don't know.
What's that noise? Can you get that person to turn off whatever that is so there's no ringing tones in the middle of the podcast?
She's going to, but she's got wet hands.
Yes, but can she turn off the volume during the fucking podcast, please? Please. So there's no phones ringing during the podcast. Hang it up. That's what there's a hook for. My God. What's happened to everybody? Has everybody become useless? Did everybody wake up this morning and everybody woke up this morning and decided I'm going to be fucking useless today and not do anything? My God. Can you not just turn off the sound on it?
I just told her.
A Torsko Tishi. That's not turning off the sound. That's can you turn it down a bit? I can speak the lingo.
Yeah, I know you can speak though. She doesn't have to turn it off completely, does she? My ringing is completely.
Well, if she thinks that that's not bothering us, then obviously she doesn't know what she's doing. My God, what's wrong with the fucking planet today? Is everybody's just like, oh, I can't do it.
It never occurred to you that maybe you. It never occurred to you that might be you who's exceptionally tense and irritated about every minor everything.
I'm doing things.
So?
I'm doing things.
Everybody's
Things are
doing
happening.
things.
No, they're not.
I was doing things this morning. I was dragging a sleeping child all across the town just to get
Hope
stuff
you were
done.
carrying her, not dragging her physically.
Well, I was carrying her, yes.
It's
Dragging
like
my
just
mum and
dragging your
carrying a sleeping
child
child.
behind you is probably a criminal offense.
I was carrying a sleeping child who's 15 kilos heavy all across the freaking town just to get stuff sorted. So don't go at me like, oh, I'm doing stuff and nobody else is doing anything, just fucking around and creating problems, because that is just bollocks.
Bollocks to that.
And you're all tense and irritated and
Oh, who sorted out the problem that was here? Everyone was sitting drinking coffee, going la 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 with
because
the
I was
fucking
having my coffee.
Cookies, and there was a major problem in the living room, and it takes me who's working to actually solve it.
Excuse me for sitting down for 15 minutes after dragging a sleeping child all across the town and cooking lunch
It's not
for you.
about sitting down for sleeping. It's about being aware of what's happening in your environment.
Okay.
Those are two different things.
Yes. I was going to be aware of it after that 15 minutes of sitting down and drinking my coffee. You're acting like...
No, you weren't. You would have just sat there in the kitchen. You would not have been aware of it.
You're acting like that's all that I've been doing today, just sitting there and drinking coffee and yapping. Well, I'm sorry, but... Yes, I took a break. I needed it.
What the fuck is that?
Reindeer poop. And it's really good.
It looks like it. It actually looks like, because I'm an expert on reindeer poop, having spent 4 years at the Norwegian University of Reindeer Analysis.
Analysis.
Oh, she made a joke about reindeer's asses.
Mm-hmm. Okay, but are you going to press live, or are we just
Yes.
going to speak about poop without the picture?
I don't really want to talk about poop, to be honest.
You sure?
I'm sure. Okay. Enough with this insane banter. 5, 4, 3, 2,
1.
I have. Are those numbers going down or up?
They're going down. They're going down.
Okay.
Not you guys. You're not going down.
We're
you're
all
okay.
going down. There we go. The numbers
Okay, we're live. I've got the picture. Now is the best time for you to vent, because you're obviously feeling very tense. You're obviously feeling very edgy. So you can now release the tension.
See, I'm now deflated.
Did that help?
No.
No, you're still surrounded by idiots. Okay.
I am intensely surrounded by idiots. Not only me. I was in a meeting this morning with a client who was also intensely surrounded by idiots who constantly got everything wrong. So
is it okay for me to eat this during the podcast?
Reindeer droppings.
Yeah.
I like that term.
Reindeer droppings.
Something you just drop
Yeah.
accidentally.
Oh, thank goodness they did.
Where do you get reindeer droppings from?
Reindeers.
Oh, so you go to the local reindeer shop.
Mhm.
Yeah. And you're like, excuse Excuse me.
Can I have a pound of droppings?
Fresh. Please.
Warm.
Yeah. Okay, just hold on a minute. We'll send someone out the back with a shovel.
Well, excuse me, but these have been microwaved.
You can tell?
Yes, I can tell. Of course I can tell.
Oh my gosh. How do you know? They're glowing red.
You can smell the difference. They're not actually reindeer droppings, they're chestnuts.
I thought you couldn't eat chestnuts.
They're not horse chestnuts.
Oh, they're
They're
reindeer
edible.
chestnuts.
They're edible chestnuts. You've got two varieties of chestnuts. You've got horse
What?
chestnuts, which are not edible, and then you've got edible chestnuts,
What are
which
they
are
called?
edible. Surprisingly.
Right.
Yeah.
Why are they called chestnuts?
I don't know.
Because you're not. Because your nuts are not. Your nuts are not in your chest.
I don't know.
obviously.
Maybe somebody was smuggling them at some point
Yes.
under their T-shirt, and somebody came to them and pointed and said, "Oh, look, you've got nuts growing on your chest."
Perhaps that's true.
And then he would lift his T-shirt and say, "These," and then the person would say, "Oh, look at that, chestnuts."
Chestnuts.
I don't know.
Roasting on an open fire.
It is a very bizarre name for them, though.
Yeah.
Chestnuts. I mean, whoever thought of
I
that?
mean, the female equivalent would be like calling them.
Don't even go there. Don't even try.
Well, I've got a good one in my head, but I'll keep it to myself. Shall I?
Now I've got a picture of actual chestnuts in my head. Thank you for that. Thank you.
I can.
I'm just imagining
As you're eating them.
anatomically they look like. It's not
You
like
have a
don't try.
strange imagination.
I imagine everything, so you may want to be really careful about what you're saying to me, because
Yeah.
it's like a movie. It's there.
Yeah. So if I say pink elephants,
Yep.
you can imagine
It's
pink
there.
elephants.
Mhm.
If I say yellow taxi cab, you can imagine yellow taxi cab.
Yep.
If I say
dancing Will in between the door,
yeah,
making weird
well,
faces, looking
yeah.
like the Scream picture from.
Okay, this is going to get on my tits completely. Right, if he's going to
Well, you
do
have to
that.
stop it. Do you need anything?
Well, you know the rules, right? While we're doing the podcast, while we're live, you're doing exactly the very things that you know that you shouldn't do.
Wait a second. Is there anything that you need?
Is there anything urgent? Can we solve
Okay.
any problem for you? No. Okay. Right.
Wait for the girls to finish their food, have some food, then go outside with Babka. And
Otherwise,
good.
yes.
Well, get
okay.
ready to go out then.
Okay.
Find your snow pants.
Otherwise, it's going to be a series of warnings and solitary confinement for a short period of time
Yes.
for his own protection. Right. You helping the food go down there by massaging certain parts of the body.
Why did you have to say that? I mean, people out there have no idea what's happening. So they can't see
Well,
it.
because I'm living it. It's real. Why did you say that? Because it's true.
Oh, okay. Yes, I am actually.
Yeah. Does
No,
it?
it's just it feels really nice because it's very soft. Just feels nice to rub my belly because it's soft. Ask the kids; they love doing it as well.
Yes.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I thought they used it as a trampoline.
That as well, yes.
Yes.
Especially jazz.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a strange word, isn't it? Trampoline. Tramp and lean.
Tramp.
Oh, never mind.
Okay.
Never mind. It was just a passing thought.
Is it from trample, maybe?
Well, it's obviously from tramp, which means to walk, but in a sort of heavy way, doesn't it? Yeah, I don't. And of course, all tramps lean, right?
Don't they?
Because they're usually drunk. So.
Is that what the movie Lady in Tramp is about?
No, that was about two dogs. No,
Yes, but was one of them drunk all the time?
I don't know because I haven't seen it
Me neither. Actually.
since I was about 4 years old.
I've never seen it.
You've never seen it?
No. I've never
Never.
seen it. I know it's a Disney classic. I've never seen it.
That's why the lady Is a tramp. Or maybe that's something different. It's not
That's
Frank's.
something
That's a
different.
Frank Sinatra song, no?
Yes.
Hmm.
She knows the theater, but never comes late.
Is that?
She never bothers with people she hates. That's a lady is a tramp. That was my Frank Sinatra voice. Did you like it?
Sven.
Did I sound just?
Sven. Sven. Have another.
Did I sound
Have
just
another one.
like Frank?
Yep. Yes, if Frank was
A
at
woman.
the bottom, was a woman at the bottom of a barrel. Perhaps yes, you
In
did.
the middle of the Pacific Ocean, with
Um,
jellyfish in his mouth.
I would just be bizarrely painful.
That's what it would sound like, though.
What an obviously horrible form of punishment that would be.
I'm talented. What can I say? I've eaten all the droppings. It's a good thing that the kids have 2 more bags, and they don't like them.
Not surprised.
You didn't even taste them.
Not interested.
Why? I can't think of a reason why.
Just it doesn't tickle my fancy.
I'm thinking about making a cake out of them, actually.
Can you make good cakes out of them?
Mm-hmm. I can make the best cakes out of them. You're right.
There was a bizarre noise, and I had visions of.
Flying
There's
unicorns.
another bizarre noise. Flying unicorns. No, that would not
that
surprise
just
me.
happened.
Just it's a flying unicorn.
Yep.
Jazzy was playing around last night, and she picked up one of those little erasers and was like, "Oh, little unicorn, you're a flying little unicorn. Oh, are you okay?" And then she stopped and looked at it and went, "You're not a unicorn, you're a horse." Oh, it's a horse, okay.
Oh God, she's so
Yeah.
cute.
And it was really funny.
She's so observant. I mean, you were yelling here, right, and panicking and stuff. And she came
Panic?
to
I never
me,
panic. That's ridiculous.
And she came to me in the kitchen and she said, "Mom, is everything all right?" With her British accent.
Does she have a British accent now?
Sometimes. Is everything all right? Yes, Jasmine, don't worry.
Yeah. Well,
That's going to get on your teeth as well.
it's
Sorry,
getting on my
pardon me, your nerves.
it's getting on my TITS already. The fact
On your
that soft,
buds.
cuddly toys are being lobbed into the living room.
Oh, you have no stamina. You have no psychological stamina whatsoever.
I have amazing psychological stamina.
Yeah,
I live with you, for God's sake.
Absolutely no resistance
To what?
to flying soft toys.
Well, that's just the beginning. That's the whole point. It's not actually the flying soft toys. It's what it leads to.
Flying soft children.
Yes. Who will come skating through the living room like
But isn't it lovely
2
they
children
can
on
skate
ice.
under the Christmas tree?
Excuse me?
They can skate under the Christmas tree. That was a
A
dragon.
dragon.
So not only we have flying unicorns and dragons in the living room,
Flying poo.
and reindeer poo. And flying poo. Yeah.
Yes.
It's Pooh Bear.
There we go.
Need a poo.
Bum bum bum.
Yeah.
Come on, put some energy into it.
I'm sorry.
You're sagging.
I'm feeling saggy. I'm just. Ugh. I didn't have a coffee this
What's
morning.
the?
And then I had some, but somebody came and started panicking about water on the carpet, so I
You-
had to stop drinking my coffee, so I never really recharged. Didn't you see here? Sorry, didn't you see here? Didn't you read my blob?
Blob? Blob! That's what it is.
So
It's not
it's
a blog post, it's a blob post.
Yes.
My blob on the internet.
Didn't you read my last blob? Did you not learn how important the coffee break is for me? And you ruined it by panicking about a wet patch on a carpet.
I didn't panic about it. I realized there was a problem and managed the situation.
Yes, you did manage the situation and completely ruined my coffee break.
You can have another one.
I'm not sure.
It's not the last coffee break ever.
Well, yeah, I know it's not, but
You made some weird comment about something under the Christmas tree, which I didn't understand.
I said they can skate around the Christmas tree.
Oh, around, I heard under. I was like, how can they go under the Christmas tree?
Well, I meant under the bottom branches.
Oh, so you did say under.
Yes.
Okay.
But I meant around and under the bottom branches then. Yeah. Because in Slovak language, when you use the preposition under, pod, right? Pod stromčekom, it means not directly under it, like that box is, right? But it means around it. Like darčeky pod stromčekom are under the Christmas tree. Presents under the Christmas tree, but they're not really under. They're around it, right? So that's what I meant. Language problems.
Is Babka okay taking the kids out?
Yeah, she's fine taking the kids out. I've observed her.
As long as there has been some kind of observation of the situation.
She's handling everything perfectly fine. Yeah,
Question mark.
Jasmine is really hard to handle today, by the way, actually, because she had a little sleep last night. She only went to sleep around 11 o'clock in the evening because she's having this weird sleep strike she's been having for like the past 4 or 5 days, if you've noticed.
Sleep strike?
Yeah.
You've just created a term. You should patent it or trademark it or...
I think it already exists.
Sleep strike.
There's about like 5 billion parents out there who know exactly what I'm talking about. So, yeah, she's on a sleep strike. She doesn't sleep, right? She doesn't want to go to sleep. She doesn't want the lights to be turned off. When she does go to sleep, she wakes up in the middle of the night and stays awake for 2 hours and demands me to turn all the lights on and go and play. And that's been happening for like 4 or 5 days. I thought it was the full moon having an effect on her. But I'm not sure. Maybe it's just a stage, just a phase, just that kind of thing. But yeah, so she went to bed like 11 o'clock last night.
What strategies have you tried?
What strategies have I tried?
Yes, repeating the question.
Yeah, I'm just trying to process it. I don't think I've tried any strategies. I've tried to read a book,
If you haven't tried any strategies, then is it so surprising that the situation is the way that it is?
Well, I'm just observing the situation right now and empathizing with the child and trying to determine whether it's something that needs strategies or whether it's just a momentary thing that she goes through. So because maybe it doesn't need any strategies, maybe tonight she's gonna go to bed perfectly fine and everything's gonna be okay again. But if there's still a problem, then the first strategy would be a change of routine, bedtime routine, I suppose. That would probably be the first thing to try.
What does that mean, a change of routine? How would you change the routine?
The problem is not that she can't fall asleep. The problem is that she decided she doesn't want to do anything that's even remotely connected with going to bed in the evening. She doesn't want to put her PJs on. She doesn't want to put her nappy on. She ran away from me for like a very long time last night when I tried to put her nappy on and nothing worked. And she only let me put it on because...
This is the person who said to me, she'll be asleep soon.
Because you put on Blaze, that was the only reason why she let me put her nappy on. Because I said, you can have Blaze only after I put your nappy on. So, bribery. So she just doesn't want to go anywhere near her bed. She doesn't want to lie down in it. She doesn't want me to turn the lights off. When I turn the light off, she goes in a full panic mode. So 2 days ago, I was putting her to bed, and she fell asleep around 11 o'clock with all the lights on, because anytime I turned a light off, even in the kitchen, she'd just go screaming. And because everybody else was sleeping already, that was a bit of a problem.
Isn't it a power and control thing?
Yes, absolutely.
Seems to me that you should be in control of the situation. Not saying that anything's wrong, okay? I'm just saying that the adult, I'm not specifically talking about you, okay?
Mhm.
Let's depersonalize it. So the adult should be in control, but the child is acting as if they feel that they should be in control of everything.
I think that's absolutely normal and natural that the child wants to be in control of some situations. And she decided that she wants to be in control of this particularly because for some reason she doesn't want to go to sleep. Probably because she's just too excited about things happening around her, probably because she wasn't so sleepy. Whatever the reasons, okay? She just doesn't want to stop having fun. Whatever the reasons why she doesn't want to go to sleep, she is the age where she realizes that she has some kind of control over some situations, and naturally she wants to be in control of things that she feels strongly about, right? I mean, everybody would try to. If you didn't want to go to sleep and I told you to go to sleep, you would just say, F off. Well, just stop telling me what to do. It's my body. I decide when I want to go to sleep. So it's the same thing. I think it's just something that we have to communicate about with her. For now, it's not. It's a problem for me. It's not a problem for her. She's just experimenting with what happens if I don't go to bed.
Yeah, you wanted to talk about Christmas.
Yeah, this is exactly what I meant by breaking the flow.
Rock the disco, let's talk.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about Christmas, but I kind of wanted to start it naturally,
You wanted to start it naturally?
Hello, my name is Jana, and I would like to talk to you about Christmas.
Well, that was really...
I don't even know what kind of accent that was. It was probably just an idiot accent.
Lost in Bulgaria kind of accent, perhaps.
Yeah.
Right.
So well, I did want to talk about
what was wrong with my segue? What was wrong with my segue?
It was none.
It was a nice segue. It was move on.
Yeah.
Move on.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about Christmas
Go forward.
Because it's the time of year when everybody freaks out.
Simply having. I was in the. Let's say I was traveling with our client this morning, and talking to me, driving, and on the phone at the same time. Yeah, and I had to stop him and say, one thing at a time, mate, because he took the wrong turn twice.
Okay.
It's like, this is the wrong way. I'm like, yeah, I know this is the wrong way.
Yeah,
I know the right way, but I don't have the wheel, so I can't steer.
I was Facebook messaging with someone.
Messaging
the other day with someone, and they wrote me a message. Give me your phone number. I'm going to call you. I'm driving, but I can talk. And I'm like, no. I wrote back, no. I'm not giving you my phone number, and stop Facebooking me. Finish driving first. And they would reply to me, it's okay, I'm standing in a traffic jam and haven't moved for the last 15 minutes.
Texting and driving is some kind of disease that exists.
That person was safe because obviously she's been standing in one place for 15 minutes in a traffic jam, so that was okay. But my first reaction was, I am not letting you call me while you're driving because I didn't have that information before she wrote that. So yeah, I don't talk to people while they're driving. I'll just hang up the phone because it's stupid. Because if they can't be responsible enough, at least I'll do my part to be, to not perpetrate the risky behavior.
Yeah. I wonder how many accidents Facebook is responsible for. Well, it's not Facebook, it's the people.
It's the people.
Thinking that they can do everything at one time. which is and so the person's on the phone talking about a problem they're trying to solve with somebody else and calling different people, and they're driving down the road and they're having a conversation with me at the same time.
Give me 1 second, okay? I'm just going to solve something really quickly because I don't think Jasmine wants to go outside.
You better run because the Babka has decided to take the kids. The Babka, who's visiting grandmother, has decided to take the kids sledging, which is going to be a very wet experience because the snow has started to melt, and when the snow starts to melt, it turns to water, and the water gets everywhere. So, I think it's kind of fun to sledge in any weather when there's any level of snow, basically. That's for sure. It's just not the right conditions. The temperature has warmed over the last few days and will be warmer this week, so I don't expect much more snow. But, post-Christmas, the temperature drops usually to about -15, -20, which is enough to freeze your chest hairs and cause your fingers to change color even through the thickest of gloves. So, did you solve the problem?
I solved the problem.
Okay.
She wanted Mummy to put her boots on because Babka didn't know. Babka didn't do it as well as Mum.
I'm pretty sure that there are very few things that Babka would do as well as Mum.
Apart from baking gingerbread, because that gingerbread is freaking awesome.
It's got that shitty white icing though, which always makes it look cheap and terrible.
It's awesome. Listen to him.
I'm sure that the gingerbread is fine, but putting the white icing stuff on it, just I hate icing, and just putting it on the gingerbread just spoils it.
Good. Don't eat it then. I'll make more gingerbread for you without the shitty icing, okay?
Thank you.
And I'll eat all the icing in some blah.
In some blah.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I don't even know what that means. I don't even know what language that is.
So yeah, Christmas is the
simply
time
having a wonderful Christmas
when we all gather around the Christmas tree and freak out for 2 weeks. At least some people freak out for a month.
Freak out. It's a disco song, isn't it?
Yeah. It's a good one. I've got it in my head.
Freak out. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, so please talk.
Please talk. I don't know if do you freak out for Christmas? You don't, because you're kind of focused on. You're kind of focused on your work.
Just another day. It's just another day.
And you just kind of delegate all the things, like you do the decorations and you take care of the cooking, and I understand it, because for you it's you've got different areas that you focus on, and Christmas doesn't really affect it for you. So
that's called management.
Yeah, I focus on the other areas, and Christmas affects it a lot, because you have to think about the things that you're gonna cook, and the traditions, and the decorations, and the tidinesses, and the presents for the kids, and just everything, just the whole thing, and the family that will come to visit, and how to make sure you don't kill them, and all that jazz. So
yeah, well, we don't have a lot of money for presents this year, so it's going to be minimalism, and nobody cares about us that much, so family are not coming to visit.
They are.
What? You're fucking kidding me now.
Not
what?
Yours, mine is.
What? Your family is coming?
Yes, not for Christmas, but after Christmas. They always come after Christmas.
Who from your family is coming?
My mother and my father.
Not together.
Separately.
Not together.
Obviously.
I mean, that's like having like having a pit bull and an elephant in the same room.
That would be really funny. No, they're not coming together. But my mother will be coming with my brother and Luna.
What was the verb in there?
Coming. My mother will be coming with my brother and Luna. And Nadine probably as well.
Who's Nadine?
That's my brother's partner.
New partner.
Yes.
with the old kid.
Yes.
That's not fucked up at all, is it?
No, not at all. Yes, it is. It is fucked up, but that's the way it is, isn't it? So.
Why is he taking the kid to Slovakia?
Why not?
I don't know. I just get the feeling that your brother doesn't want anything to do with the kid. But that's
not
just my
true.
opinion.
No, that's not true. It's not that my brother does not want to have anything to do with the kid. It's that he's
doesn't want to have anything to do with the mother.
Parenting, yeah, that's true. His parenting style is different than my parenting
It's
style.
It's a style. Oh, okay, that's what it's called. That's what it's called. Really, I thought it was something which didn't exist.
Laid back. Okay.
Non-existent, I believe, is the term.
So. It's not that he doesn't want to have to do anything with the kid. He they've got that kind of weird management where he takes her for she's his for a weekend, I think once a month or something, because they live quite far away. So
by choice.
Yeah. Well, of course, by choice. Everything is by choice.
Well, finally repeated something that I've been saying for ages. Okay, good. I'll remind you of that.
So, yeah. So, I did I tell you that her mom moved to France?
Whose mom?
Luna's mom.
Luna's mom moved to France. Well, that's pretty far away.
With Luna, but it's
a different country.
South of France, so it's quite near the border and near Spain, but still, it's a different country. So, so they're quite far away from each other now. I think it's like 2 hours drive or something.
It's quite far away, 2 hours drive.
2 or 3, I don't know. Something between.
That's not quite far away. Jesus Christ. 2 hours drive is like nothing. People do that to get to work in the morning.
No, they don't.
Yes, they do.
2 hours drive.
Yes, there's people who live in this town and they work in Bratislava and they go there every day. That's a fact.
Why? I mean, why would you spend 4 hours in a car a day? Why would you waste 4 hours of your life in a car?
Because somebody gives you money for it, that's why.
Why don't you fucking move closer? So you don't have to do it every day.
Because you hate your family and you don't want to spend time with them? You'd rather spend time sitting in your car?
Well, anyway, okay, so that's, yeah. Never mind. Whatever other people are doing.
I have answers to all the questions. They might not be what you want to hear, but there you go.
I don't really want to know about other people and what.
You see, it is logical from their perspective. I mean, to us, it's insanity.
Well, I don't.
It's perfectly logical from their perspective.
There's absolutely no point talking about this because I don't know those people that you're talking about, and I don't really care about their reasons for driving to work for 2 hours. So, yeah, the main point is that they are coming on probably around the 26th or 27th. So. I
feel sorry for the little girl.
Yes, I know, but...
That's so completely messed up.
It is, but do you know how many little girls there are in the world like that, with things completely messed up like that?
Yeah, that's what makes it even more... just because something's bad already, adding to bad is worse than just being bad. Adding to bad is worse than being bad.
Yeah, being bad. I mean, what is being bad? You know?
What is being bad? Well, in that context, obvious.
It's just so general that you have to use a different word. You have to use.
Okay, the fact that there are so many single parents out there, especially single mothers, makes it especially bad if you add to a situation.
Why
which
especially single mothers? What about single fathers?
Because there are less single fathers than there are single mothers.
That's not true. That's bullshit.
Is it?
Yes.
I thought there were many more single mothers than single... I mean, the single mother is looking after the kid.
Listen,
the mother gets the kid. Wait. The mother gets the kid in 9 out of 10 cases.
That's true, but if you have a single mother...
So that's not a single father.
A single father.
No, that's bullshit. That's not a real argument. Bullshit. Calling bullshit. Where's my bullshit panic button? Beep. That's rubbish. That's not even an argument. That's just some fantasy that you've made up in your head. That's not even an argument.
I'm just pointing to you.
That's not an argument. It's not. It's not. You're not a single father if the mother is taking care of the child. You're not a single father. That's bullshit.
Are you a biological father of the child?
Yeah. Yes, it's the biological. It's the biological. No, I'm not fucking single. You spastic. Fucking here. Oh, what kind of question is that? My God. A complete insanity. It's just because there's a single mother does not mean there's a single father. That's an insane statement. It's insane.
Perfectly logical.
It's not. There's no logic in that at all. That's like saying just because this is red, that's blue. There's no connection there. There's none. The connection has been broken. It does not mean that just because there's no logic in that. There's none. Zero. There's negative logic. It's going backwards. Just because there's a single mother does not mean there's a single father. A single mother is a mother who lives alone and takes care of her child or children, right? A single father is a father who lives alone and takes care of his child or children. You cannot have both of them taking care of the same child.
Yes,
or
you can.
No, you fucking can't. It's insane. And
It is insane, but that's how we
No,
work.
it doesn't fucking work like that. Seeing your daughter for one weekend a month is not in any sense taking care of her.
I wasn't
That's
talking about that.
Did
you hear about striedava starostlivosť? Whatever you call it in English.
I don't know.
Alternating care, where the child lives for 1 week in mother's house and for
That
1 week in
doesn't
the father's
happen.
house. It happens.
That
and
doesn't
it shouldn't
happen.
happen.
That
But
doesn't
unfortunately,
happen.
it happens.
Okay. Basically, that never happens except in extreme circumstances because they can't do it because they're working. I mean that. You can't normalize something which is extreme. That's like saying, well, it's here are some moon rocks. Everybody's got them. No, very few people have them. So you can't say it's normal because it's not. It isn't.
Moon rocks.
Yes, because they're not normal things. You just describe something which is not normal as normal.
Unfortunately,
It's not normal. Unfortunately, it exists. Is it normal? No.
it exists.
It exists, but it's definitely not normal. That's like saying everybody has turtles. They exist, but it's not normal for everyone to have them. Right? That's crazy. Just because you've got a single mother does not mean you've got a single father. That statement is insane.
Well, I think, in my opinion, that we should stop using these words, single mother, to describe a person who is taking care of the child as opposed to a person who is not taking care of the child, but they are a biological parent. Because
What?
it's silly. Because you're using two words that are not describing what you're saying. I mean, single mother. Okay. Single father. Who says that single father has to be actually physically taking care of the child like most of the time, 90% of the time?
Not even half the time. They don't even do it half the time.
I know, but he's a father and he's freaking single. Okay?
Who's to say he's single? He might be,
I just don't like he's a shitty father if he doesn't see his child most of the time, but he's still a father and he's still freaking single. So he's a freaking single father. I just don't like this.
No.
Don't.
A single father is a father who takes care of the child.
I just don't like it. I don't think it should be used that way. And I don't like it how, we've got so many single mothers, but so little single fathers. That's bullshit. Those children had fathers. Those fathers fucked away. But that does not, he left and now she's a single mother and he's what?
Gone. He's gone. That's what it is.
They're both parents. They should both be responsible for the child. And yes, he's a father. He's biologically a father. He's gone away, but he's still a freaking single father. It does not resolve him of the responsibility to take care of his child.
I absolutely agree with you. However, in our society, it is normal to describe the caretaker of the child as a single mother if they are the mother.
Well, it shouldn't be that way because
a
it
single
just
father if they are the father.
Because that way,
the
the use of those words itself just agrees, or it's like it approves of the fact that the man is gone out of the picture, right? It's like
that's what I'm saying.
She's a single mother now, and
he's gone.
He's gone. But no, because it's like by not calling him a single father, I'm relieving him of the responsibility linguistically to take care of his child. Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
The term doesn't fit the action. That's what you're trying to say.
I'm trying to say that we should not call them single fathers. We should definitely call them single fathers so that they realize that that's what they actually still really are. It's not just like, ooh, she's a single mother and I'm just off the hook and I could go off and roam the world and be free and I don't count as a single parent because he is a single parent and should be called that.
Yes, but I agree with you totally. But if you start calling a glass of water a glass of juice, then you're only going to confuse yourself, right? You're only going to have communication problems in yourself. So I agree with you that the term. I agree with you that the term doesn't fit the actions of the person. I totally agree with you. Unfortunately, we live in a society where if you start to call a car a mechanical horse, people are going to look at you like you're a bit weird because everybody accepts the term car. So we just have to accept that that's the way it is.
I don't want to call a car a mechanical horse. I just want people to
but people will think. No, but people will think of you like that if you continue down that road.
I just don't like how people say there's so many single mothers. Well, what do you think happened to this fucking? I'm sorry. To people who have left and are not taking responsibility or are not. Yeah,
they should be, but they don't even fit into the box because. The truth is that a lot of them just fuck off.
Yeah.
They just go away. I mean, let me think of anyone I can think of that I've met that is in that kind of situation and has stuck around zero, in fact, in my life. So there we go.
Mm-hmm.
So they tend to, for whatever reason, some of them might be well justified to. Seek new lives and new life forms in other places.
I know, and I know it's that way, and I know that I would like this world to be a bit more ideal, but it just winds me up when people say there's so many single mothers. It's like moving. It's like they're not.
Well, the term from that perspective, the term is
something there. It's a shared responsibility. It's like shifting the whole responsibility for the situation to those single mothers.
Well, what it's really doing is pissing on the fathers.
Well, the fathers are obviously pissing on themselves if they F off.
Yes, that's after the fact.
It's like.
Yes, by that at which point it's too late. The whole building is on fire, and you've got a cup of water, so you just turn around and.
I was reading my book that you don't like because every time I say something that was written in the book, you just go, "That's bullshit."
Before you say anything. That's bullshit.
But I was reading about children, right? Because it goes like through different life situations and how pessimism and optimism affects those situations.
That's bullshit.
Depression. And they were talking about depression in children and pessimimism and optimism in children.
I don't mean it. Sorry.
I know. And they were saying that children are obviously a big precursor for a depression in children is a divorce, but also arguing of the parents. So the author of the book was actually telling parents, they were like, if you want to have a divorce and your child is, and you've got small kids, don't do it. Like, if you're not like in direct, threat to your health or life or whatever, just don't do it. It was like, don't do it. If you care about the mental health of your child, don't get a divorce. Stay in the relationship. Go to counseling. Try to work it out. Don't argue. If you argue, it was like, don't argue without any resolve. If you have to argue, make sure that you're doing it, without any attacking, name calling, or aggressiveness, and don't just nag for the sake of nagging because you're unhappy with each other, but do it constructively. Always come to some kind of solution. Is that the only arguing that children could put up with when it came to the mental health of the children was constructive arguing, where the parents would argue but would always come to a solution or to some kind of consensus or a compromise.
Arguments don't have solutions. Debates have solutions. Arguments don't come to any particular resolution.
He was saying, if you feel that you're getting angry, it's gonna get heated, you're going to shout, or that this is not going anywhere, take a step back, shut up, and you don't have to win the situation. You don't have to prove to be right if your child's mental health is at stake. So he basically said, work on the relationship in counseling if you need to, but when you're actually there and the argument is not going anywhere, just shut up and take a step back for your kid, so that they don't have to witness the senseless arguing. Because he said that the kids tend to be very pessimistic and very probably depressed. Not probably, have a very high probability of getting depressed. It's quite interesting.
Well, that actually makes perfect sense to me.
Yeah.
So I'm not.
You're not saying that it's bullshit.
I'm not going to say that today.
Damn it. Yeah.
Sorry. No, I agree that people should try to finish what they start.
Yeah.
I think that's the simplification.
And of course, you're saying, there are individual things and there are factors that will play into it, like how well the parents are handling the divorce and whether they're being hostile and using each other as a weapon and yada yada yada. But he's just said whatever kind of divorce it is, it always just undermines everything in the kid's life. Shakes up the basis of everything.
Yeah, that's a great word. Undermine. Interesting word. Anyway, that which is the foundation of everything.
Yeah.
Everything. Yeah. Yeah, I feel sorry for the person who we discussed earlier's child, because I think that from my external perspective, she must feel a bit like a tennis ball being being whacked around a tennis court, and that it. I don't know. I don't know even what to say about that. That's I've made the analogy.
Absolutely.
So
I mean, it's definitely not a good thing for a kid to have to go through that. Obviously. Tell you what is a good thing.
Wait. I want to point out a language thing.
What did I do? Okay.
No, you didn't do anything wrong, but you pacified the situation. Uh-huh. It's not that the child has to go through it.
Oh, I know.
It's that the child is put through it.
I know. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, that's so. That's, it's like.
It's a bad thing to happen. Well, it didn't just happen.
Yeah. It's like, it rained. It's like. No, it's more than that.
I get it. Anyway, I wanted to point out something good, because I like to point out good things as well. And
look, something good.
And the good thing is that Luna has a great capacity of communication, because she has obviously been in so many. Poor kid has obviously been in so many situations where she had to. Just create ways of communication because she didn't know the language, She's in Slovakia, where she didn't know the language properly. She was in France and she didn't know the language properly, and she communicates in Spanish and in English, basically, right? And she's like, last time I saw her at my mom's 60th birthday, she was trying to talk to me, and it was like a mixture of English and Spanish, and it was just so cute. We did communicate in the end, though. It was quite nice.
Yeah. File under everything bad is good for something. Classic Slovak phrase.
Yeah, I know. I just, that I like to do that. I like to point out the good things.
I was looking at this is, I don't know how to explain this, right? I got to think about this a little bit, right? This is complex. This involves my history, Friends history, Friends the TV series, and something I read, and my masterclass language email that I send out, and
today,
something that I read.
With the Ross's sandwich.
Yeah, they're getting less funny as they do when you go through the series. Anyway, it's always like that. So anyway, there's something that I don't know where to start with this. I'll start with what I read, right?
Mm-hmm.
So obviously, when I send out my language-based email, and it's got that theme of friends, I'm always looking for extra things I can throw in about the characters or the series or the actors. I'm always looking to give more value, always add more, right? And so up on my screen, when you search on Google, up on my screen popped the basic description of the TV series, and it came up as a group of young BFF type people who share the same space or something like that, right? I can't remember exactly what it was. And I was like, that's in the BFF is in the description of what it was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Which essentially is the description of relationship carousels, which is hop on, hop off, right?
What?
Relationship carousels. Do you know what a carousel is?
Yeah.
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 Well, relationship carousels are where you jump on, you jump off, and you jump on, and you jump off.
You get it.
Right.
But what are you talking about?
Well,
I'm not getting the connection at all.
Well, you're not getting the connection.
No.
Right. Well, do you know how everyone's affected by the relationship problems in the modern world?
Yeah.
Yeah. And how people's psychological attitudes to the world very often are mirrored, even taken from the way that media presents how the world should be.
Yeah.
Friends, the TV series,
Yeah.
was a presentation to young people that relationship carousels are normal and perfectly okay.
Yeah.
And
It's a model, basically.
yeah. And of course,
And fun.
Yeah.
Not just okay, but fun.
Well, yeah, comedy always
Yeah.
presents serious topics as a subtext to what's going on, right?
Mhm.
And the best way to the easiest way to communicate the horrors or bad ideas is through comedy.
Yeah.
Actually, not through a horror film, but through a comedy,
Yeah.
because it's disguised. And so that series came out when I was
Young.
when I was age.
When I was young.
Yeah, I don't know. It must have been when I was age about 11 or 12.
Yeah, they all had really bad hair back
Up
then.
to when I was about, I guess it ran for 6-7 years, right? So it must have been
At
till
least.
I was about 20. So that was the whole teenage period,
Mhm.
right? Was when it came out. And I was thinking back to everyone who was a teenager through that period who watched that
Mm-hmm.
and subconsciously absorbed
Yeah.
that information. And I'd always known that there was something there which nobody ever wanted to talk about, but it was completely obvious, right? And then when I read the official description of the series,
Mm-hmm.
as it described now
Mm.
as they were best fuck friends.
What?
Yeah,
No.
that's not what it means.
No.
I thought that's what that meant. I thought that's what I've heard it, man. I've heard it like that before. That's not what it means. What does it
No.
mean?
It means best friend forever.
It means best friend.
Yes.
Because I thought
BFF is a short.
that's one
It's an
terminology.
acronym for best friend, but it's used as a best friend. But I mean, it's short from best friend forever.
I've seen it as I've not seen it as best friend forever, but that makes sense. But I've seen it used
Uh-huh.
as best fuck friend.
I've never, ever come
You've never.
across
You,
that. No.
I've seen it used. I mean, it makes sense. It makes sense that it would be best friend forever. But I've also seen it used as best fuck friend,
It's even
which
in
is like a friend that you have sex
it's even
with.
in the
Right?
cartoons. It's in the open season where the deer says to the bear, says, "You're my BFF."
Yeah, but see, I see. I
I
th-
mean,
no, but I
I would just be sick, right?
well, I think it is because I think that people who use it know that it has this double meaning. Because people go, "Oh, it just means best friends forever," but people who know and are in the know that there's a second meaning there. What do they call it? Double entendre. Yeah, right.
Are you sure that you didn't just make that meaning up?
No, I have seen it used by people as
Okay.
a friend that someone has sex with. I've seen that
Okay.
term used.
Okay.
So that there's a double meaning going on.
Okay.
That people when they use it say, oh, it just means this, but really there's another meaning that nobody wants to talk about, which is there as well, and they slide it into things. And I was
I'll have to look into it because I've never ever come across that feeling.
feeling
Meaning.
never felt that before. Oops.
I mean, yeah, but yeah, I remember friends and I remember everybody, you know, in the teenage years going, oh, that's exactly how we all imagined our life after high school. That
Being like that, yes,
just
everybody
living
wanted
with our friends and have fun
and not worry about
like,
anything
oh my
and
God.
not have any real ethics or morals.
My God. I've known a guy who's like 26 and wanted to live with his best friend and just, you know, it's just no. But yeah, that's how it was presented. It was presented like fun. It was presented with this is a great idea.
You're
Let's
going
do
to finish school. You're going to live with these people. You're going to have multiple relationships. None of them are going to be successful.
Yes, and but it's all going to be real fun because even though relationships are not successful, you're still having fun and you're all laughing about it and it's all cool.
Yeah, and of course, as usual, it's okay to be stupid, which of course is not.
Yeah, like it's really cool to marry a lesbian and then have a child with her and then divorce her and then you know.
and then have a you know, I don't even know what happened there, but I can imagine.
It's just. You know, but just imagine that situation being in the real life situation. It would probably be really traumatic for like everybody in that relationship.
Well,
you know?
nobody deals with any of their traumas.
So, yeah.
It's just people skip from trauma to trauma and have these massive personality disorders, and that would make you could make a great study of the personality disorders that are displayed by the characters of Friends, which they then, I'm pretty sure, acted out in their real lives.
I've watched a similar series as well. It was much later than Friends. It was a new thing. It was called The New Girl, and it was a similar setup. Basically, it was like a group of 3. It was a similar setup. They were like living together, but just because, you know, they're like not roommates, flatmates, right? And it was a similar thing. It was a comedy. It was like they all had relationships, yada yada yada, and crushes and stuff. But it did go a little bit deeper into the actual personality problems, and there was a little bit of personality development. But you're right that in Friends nobody's dealing with anything. I mean, they're all effed up.
Completely.
But nobody is getting anywhere deeper into it. They just take it like, oh, I'm really effed up, and I'm not going to explore it or go in deeper into it. I'm just going to make fun of it and not move anywhere. None of them move anywhere. None of them progress at all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. There's.
I mean, they do get married, and
point.
they do get married at some point, right? Like whoever gets married, Chandler and Monica or whatever, and Rachel gets pregnant with whomever. But that's not mentally, psychologically, they're not progressing in the entire thing. They're not progressing. They're just in the same stage all the time.
Yep.
Which just plays into the high school fantasy of, oh, we're all going to stay this way forever. You know?
We're never going to have to worry.
Yeah, we're never gonna get
because
old. We're always gonna be friends, and
it's funny anyway. And
we're gonna stay the same forever. And then you do move on, because life doesn't work that way. And then you realize, like 5 years later, thinking, I was so stupid. And then you realize, I can't really be a best friend with this other person anymore because just changed. Because you do change naturally, hopefully, right? Nobody wants to stay 18 in the brain. So. Yeah,
nobody showed any kind of personal development or grew up at any point through that series.
Yeah, exactly. There's no development whatsoever, so that's a bit sad.
Yeah, it's like the other series that existed, sort of Ally McBeal. It's okay to be in your 30s and not have any plans for family or a partner. Really, or
financial plans, or anything, like any
or
life management.
There was a British series entitled "My Two Dads" in the early 80s, right?
Okay.
and quite how they got away with all of that stuff.
It's
no
okay.
idea.
I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem with what you can call it, art media. I don't know what you can call it. Going into movies and series and stuff. I don't have a problem with them going into interesting and difficult situations, like My Two Dads, for example. I don't see a problem with. Because there is a thin line between what the art is reflecting and what it's creating, especially when it comes to media, right? Because you can have a look at it and you can see the Friends series as a reflection of how modern relationships are often, right? But you can also, when it becomes widely spread, like Friends did, it also creates that same reality. It perpetuates it.
Yes. Slight difference between perpetuate and perpetrate.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what the difference is there, but never mind. But you get my point, right? So I'm not completely against. I mean, that's what art is for. That's what any type of creative expression is about recording the social norm in the era. That's how people 500 years later are going to know about how people live now. That's how we know about how Egyptians lived, right? Because they recorded in...
Yeah, you're talking about documentaries, which document things.
Not only that. No, not only that. I'm talking also about art. Before it weren't movies like long time ago, right? You just have books, but not just documenting books, okay? Not just fact books, but fiction as well. There's a lot of great fiction documenting. We talked about it last time, documenting the social relationships between different social classes. It's not a textbook or an encyclopedia. It's an art form. But it documents the feelings, the atmosphere in the society, the emotions of the classes, and whatever. And I think the movies do similar things. I mean, we've seen a lot of old movies, right? And you can see that in the old movies as well. They're not documentaries, but even though they're meant for entertainment, they still document things that happened and the atmosphere that was in the society back then. So I don't see a problem with that, because I think all these weird things, okay, like Me and My Two Dads, or the Glee, right, with that girl being a daughter of the two gays.
That series just got progressively more extreme.
Yeah. To
the point where it was so overtly obvious that it had an agenda.
Yes,
it was crazy.
Yeah. But my point is that if it does anything, at least it records the agenda. Okay. I mean, people 500 years later or 1,000 years later will be able to go back, see it, and think, "Oh my gosh, this is what people were pushing through back then," right? Just like we can go and have a look at the communists and see and laugh at it, and laugh at the books about Uncle Lenin, who was so good to little children and whatever, right?
Well, they're really books like that.
I have read a book about of short stories from tundra somewhere in I don't know where in Russia, about this really like poor environment. And it was full of propaganda, full of Lenin propaganda. It was like, these kids who were very poor and had to work every day, but then thankfully, and really wanted to learn. And thankfully, Lenin got into power, and thankfully he made laws that all children had to go to school. And so this little poor girl was so happy that her father was forbidden to keep her at home, and he was ordered by the government to send her to school, and she was really happy that they've done that for her. Okay, so that was, for example, one book that I read. It was like a pure socialist propaganda, right?
How did you end up reading that?
I found it in my grandfather's library. was my grandmother's library. I told you before that.
We're talking about a bookshelf rather than a big building, or
it wasn't a big building, but it was a lot of bookshelves.
a lot of bookshelves. Okay.
Because my grandmother and my grandfather were, she was a teacher and he was a headmaster of a local school, and they were both also in control, in charge of the local library. So a lot of they were basically the school library. Okay.
Okay.
And my grandmother loved reading. She was a real bookworm. My mom said that she would actually physically hold her eyes open at night to be able to read some more. It was a bit crazy. Okay, never mind. So at least you know where I got it from. My love for reading.
Yeah, I'm still waiting for that.
Well, the matches.
Still waiting for that family history that I don't want to know about.
Yeah. Oh, you don't want to know. Anyway.
She said as she laughed. And by the way.
So at some point, I was going through all the books that
my uncle's a psycho killer.
I had a little bit of time on my hands in the like summer holidays, where all I would do was a summer job and then have fun, and in the evenings I would read everything that I could lay my hands on. And I must have found it in the library and just picked it out. Like, oh look, I'll try this. It's nice and small and. See what it says, and it wasn't very good, obviously, for obvious reasons. So, yeah. So, what I'm trying to say is that further in the future, people will be able to look back, and either they're going to go, depending on where the future is going to go, right? Either they're going to go, oh my gosh, people were so crazy to push this agenda, or they're going to go, oh look, this is where the freedom fighters started the good fight for freedom of all the sexual minorities or whatever, you know. So either or way goes, I don't know, but it's still going to have some kind of value, you know. So I don't think that these things should be excluded or whatever, because doing that would just be pushing your propaganda, you know, or whatever you agree with, or whatever other people agree with, you know, whoever chooses that. I don't think there should be any limitation of what can go out and what not when it comes to this. Because you can't censorship. Is that a verb?
Censor to censor.
You can't censor art. You can't censor movies. You can't censor these things. Just it's
you can't censor
it's a freedom
art.
Thing.
Yeah, it is a question of freedom. But art is censored all the time. I mean, the way the art is censored is through sponsorship.
Yeah.
That the art that we want is sponsored. The art that we don't want is not sponsored. So
well,
art
it depends
is
on whoever is.
Art
rich.
is constantly censored through sponsorship. It's constantly controlled. The artists that get the money can produce work. The artists that don't get the money can't produce the work.
Yes, I know, but you can get sponsors from both sides. You know.
Yes, you can, but there's very little sponsorship without some kind of agenda, even if it is unspoken. There's usually an, you know, it's it's what do they call it? Quid pro quo.
Mm-hmm. So kind of a good agenda, kind of a bad agenda, right? I mean,
I don't know the word.
Still there.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess
that's
you can.
Agenda in everything.
Just means yes. Okay, agenda just means plan. It's
yeah, exactly. We've got an agenda by doing this to educate people about some things. If we.
Yes, I agree.
You know, so. Yeah, there is a new film, newish, because it was released about a month ago, or maybe even earlier than that. But very recent film, Slovak film, about. Did I tell you about this? I probably did. About a documentary about Slovak hospitals. Birth departments, what do you call them? Delivery rooms. I don't know what to call it, you know.
Call it that. Yeah.
In Slovak hospitals, and it is very much a account of how not patients, because mothers are not really patients because they're not ill. So how mothers who come to give birth in a hospital are often mistreated, and their rights are not respected, and just generally it's not a nice document to watch, but it is a good account of how things really are, and it's a try to push that in a better direction, because it really is not very good. I mean, you've been there, right?
Yeah, it's better than, always find myself saying it's better than nothing, but
yeah, it is.
there's a long way to go.
It's better than nothing, but you don't want it to be better than nothing. You want it to be better than it is.
Well, yeah, but at the beginning you want it to be better than nothing, and then after that you want it to be better than it is.
Yeah, but there was not nothing.
Yeah, the trouble is, for as long as hospitals remain under the care of an organization that doesn't have any great benefit from the benefits, it's not going to improve. So, I mean, until you have private organizations involved in those processes, as you have private businesses that do everything which is good, it's not going to improve at all. So it's rearranging deck chairs on any number of ships that sank.
I think you don't need money to be kind.
What's the point?
The point is that it is not the lack of equipment that causes problems. It's the lack of kindness, respect,
knowledge,
professionalism of the professionals. Because I think a health professional should not only be really good at offering healthcare, but they also have to have education in psychology, how to deal with people, how to be nice to people. They also have to be educated to realize that giving birth is not an illness, that it's a natural process, that women have the right to talk, and to decide about it to a large extent, unless it's like a life-threatening situation where they can't talk or whatever, right?
Yeah, but but that applies to everything. I mean, that's just a logical, rational way to view everything. That if it's good, naturally, you don't have to force people to do it. It might take time for people to understand that is good. But,
I mean, why did I never meet with disrespect in a British health facility? Maybe I was just lucky.
Maybe you are.
I haven't gone to too many meetings, right? I've been at a meeting in a health facility about 3 or 4 times.
Well, British health facilities are very much run as businesses.
Yeah.
They're not. Question mark. Officially, they're not businesses, but
they are run as businesses.
People make profits from them, and they should be run as businesses.
Yes.
Because there's nothing wrong with making a profit, and profit can drive things forward.
The whole organization of the place is like a business. It's centralized. You don't. Just the fact that I didn't have a doctor. I didn't have a GP. Okay. I just, when I needed to see somebody, I came. Soho was free. The nurse would ask me if I had any preference. Who I'd like to see. I said I don't care, and I'd go there. Everything was on time. Everything was running smoothly. Everybody was nice. Everybody was respectful. They weren't in a hurry. They listened to me. They asked questions. It's not like in Slovakia, like, oh my gosh, so many people waiting in the waiting room, and oh my gosh, how long is this going to take, right?
Oh, well, the truth about Slovakia is that nobody really cares, because if they did care, it would work. That's the truth.
So, and when you ask questions, they start rolling their eyes and tell you that you don't know anything about it because you're not the doctor, right? I mean, it's ridiculous. So, and this was largely a part of the documentary. I haven't seen it actually. I'd like to see it. It's in the cinemas now. It's a big thing. And it wasn't released because the hospital that it was shot in...
It's got to be better than Transformers or the new Marvel film.
The hospital where they shot the documentary had them sued. Took them to the court. But the court said there's nothing wrong with the documentary, so they had to, they've lost the case.
Yeah,
basically,
taking people to court is just, the main aim for taking people to court is to try to bankrupt them, not to win, not to win a court case.
Yeah.
It's all.
It delayed the release of the film, but the only thing that it did is it a marketing boost.
Yeah. Well, it's been really nice to have this opportunity to talk about Christmas.
Wasn't it?
Wasn't it great?
Well, this is what I was saying. I never get to talk about what I initially want to talk about because I start talking about other things.
Did I give you the opportunity to discuss the things that you'd like to talk about today?
Yes, but I get derailed by myself. I derail myself.
You crash your own course.
Yeah. I do.
As they say, or maybe they don't.
But that's because I have so many interesting things that I would like to talk about, and it's difficult to just focus on just one. I know that I have to work on that because yes.
Focus on your focus. That's the lesson. If you're going to take something away from this, focus on your focus.
Well, I'm a child of 20th century, aren't I? I mean, 20th century is all about...
Sounds like a song, right?
It's all...
20th century child.
It's all about scattered focus. It's all about scattered focus. Look at marketing. Look at Facebook. Look at...
chocolate! Sex! Chocolate! Sex! Chocolate! Sex!
Squirrel! Yeah. Exactly. So,
you wouldn't be down there pointing up at me, would you now, boy?
I mean, look at television, look at radio. It's all scattered focus. It's all reading for 5 seconds. Ding! Ad. Click on it. Oh wait, I didn't want to click on that ad, so I read for another 5 seconds. Ding! Another ad. Click on it. Why am I even clicking on this? Just because it tinged, right? I mean.
She lives in a very strange world.
So, so I find myself doing the same thing when I talk. But then I'm just, maybe people out there are the same as me. They're used to this scattered focus thing, and therefore they'll be able to focus better if I scatter it.
No. No.
Doesn't work that way.
Well, it's sort of like saying if I shoot randomly, I might hit the target.
Right. No, but it's like when you said that.
You do.
You said keep it dynamic. You have to keep it dynamic. So.
I didn't mean run over everything.
It's keeping it dynamic, with the conversations. Because if I stay on the same topic for 20 minutes, nobody will be able to focus on it for so long, especially when I talk like this.
Oh my God. Right. Heaven help us, and heaven help the kids who have been dragged outside by the
bad guy.
The bad guy. The grandmother. And have not returned yet, which means one of two things.
Either they are dead, all of them.
They've been kidnapped, or they got lost, or...
We're just having fun on a hill and it's still light. And my mom is really stubborn and she's got really good stamina, as you have noticed. So she's just going to be standing on that hill freezing to bits.
She was sitting at the kitchen table talking to herself.
That's what we do. That's what you marry.
No, that's
into.
not what... No, oh, fuck.
Well, you didn't marry it, but that's what you got yourself into. We're the family of late readers and talk to ourselves.
I'm silently screaming right now, just so that you know. Just it's on the record.
And wait when I get my mum's haircut. Never mind, that was mean of me.
She looks like the last plant in the shop that nobody wants to buy.
Oh, shut up. She's very sweet. And she brought us some nice gingerbread. And she brought some healthy snacks for the kids as well. She brought a lot of bananas and tangerines and nuts and chestnuts and walnuts and almonds and a little bit of
I appreciate the nice things, although I remain skeptical about everything else. There we go. It has been said.
That has been put. Well put. Well put.
Chitty, bang, fucking bang. Right.
Oh, God, you're a horrible person to please.
I'm a great person to please.
You're absolutely unpleasable. You are the unpleasable person.
Yeah, that's because the moment you get to one level, you've got to reset the bar. That's how you get better.
The only present I ever gave you that pleased you
Was shit.
was the bottle opener. Was it the can opener? That was my first present for you. It was the can opener with a bottle opener, and it was like everything opener. It was the only thing that you thought was.
Well, I didn't need a can opener. You needed a can opener. It was a present for yourself, no? Because I didn't need to open any cans.
You needed to open everything. You needed to open bottles, because you would always buy the wine with the screwy tops, or you had that screw that you screwed in, but then you couldn't pull it out. You would end up holding the bottle, and you'd be pulling. And
all I can say is that if the new me met the old me, the new me would punch the old me in the face. There we go.
Yeah. So
and that would be it. Duty done.
I suppose that's the way it should be, right?
It should.
I mean, that's the sign that you've progressed.
I mean, time travel. It's good that time travel is not possible, because I would actually go back and probably strangle myself. Right. There you go. And that would create a very confusing loop.
And it would probably just tear apart the time and space continuum.
It would.
And everybody would die a horrible
The universe
death.
would be sucked into a peanut. And
Every
why
single
not?
time somebody says peanut, I
Don't.
jump and panic on the inside.
Good. Peanut, 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 peanut.
Don't say that.
Sorry. Hey, do you know your mother brought... Oh, no, okay.
With a bag full of it.
Yeah, I can't wait till she hangs more stuff from the Christmas tree.
From what?
Christmas tree over there. Can't wait till she hangs more stuff from it.
From it?
Yeah, things are
You
hanging...
say on it.
Well, you can't really hang... Oh, never mind. If people who can't see it will not appreciate the point that I'm making. Anyway.
She did let Jasmine hang those decorations.
I know, I'm
That's
not...
why it looks stupid.
No, I'm waiting, in the moment that she leaves, it will be slightly reorganized.
Of course it will be reorganized. It's not going to stay like that.
No, because it does actually look like someone just threw the decorations at the tree.
We've only left that like that for Jasmine's sake, because Jazzy wanted to hang it herself. So she let her hang it at the bottom.
I think that's lovely. Right. Even if... Is that a flying reindeer over there?
It's the rocket as well.
Christmas rocket?
Well, it's better than no decorations.
Fucking Christmas rocket. What's that? Christmas decorations. What's that? It's a rocket. Wow.
Yeah. Oh, well.
Not enough rockets at Christmas. Yeah.
How does that compare
Baby
to
Jesus and a rocket.
How does that compare to the decorations that you hang on the Christmas tree?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Exactly.
Right. Okay. I don't need to.
That means shut up. It's better job than you've done.
Right. Duty done. Anyway, thank you very much for tuning in out there. This was the Practical Parenting podcast. We've been doing this for 1 hour and 19 minutes now, according to Facebook,
I'm going to miss
1 hour
you
and a
guys.
half, according to the
Really?
to the audio
I haven't had
podcast.
enough. I didn't get to talk about Christmas.
Well, surprisingly, you might get another chance this week. I will
Okay.
be very happy to discuss Christ's Mass with you.
Just remembered that physics things that we were talking about, falling, the gravitational and the speed and the mass.
You imagine dropping your mother from the
Well,
balcony.
no, but you just said Christ's Mass. And I'm thinking, how fast,
Would Christ fall?
Yeah, well,
Do you think he'd fall at the same speed
well,
as a
it
normal
depends on the
person?
mass, doesn't it?
Or do you think he'd get wings and take off?
I don't know.
Anyway, duty done. Things to think about. You can find more information at the Academy of Language Therapy and Life Coaching online. And you can find more information on Facebook. Leave your questions for us and we'll have a look at them. And this is the
21st Century Mum spelled MUM.com. Come to my Facebook page. Like me.
oh my god! I'm gonna check out her new blog post. It's popular. There we go.
It's popular.
Duty done. Right, finished. Say bye.
Bye.
Bye bye people online. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye. And the podcast will be finished
That was
now.
a big yawn. It was coming. You saw it coming for about half an hour.
I'm going to run and take a look out of the window and see if...
Everybody's alive.
Yes.
Out there.